Why do we choose law as a course of study? Law is a prestigious course, okay? And that is why I told you, everyone will look at you differently. That is why we dress differently. I'm sure they tell you have to put on a suit, you have to put on, both for gentlemen and ladies, you have to be smart, both outside and inside, okay? At least do not fail on both, okay? For outside, I think that one is simple. For inside, I think it is also simple, provided you put in the hard work. So you need to understand that it is prestigious because the course that you do will expose you to so many things, okay? That is why you see that even for the MPs, for those that have not studied law, they come back to university and want to study law. Why? The knowledge that you pick and also the benefits associated with the course are various, okay? You will get the high, good corporate jobs as a company secretary. You can be a company CEO. You can do a lot of things our course is. But also you need to understand that it is a professional course, okay? It is bound by certain codes of conduct. And even courts have held, there is a case of Uganda Law Society, okay? It is not a trade. This matter arises from where KCCA was requiring all law firms to get a trade license from KCCA. And lawyers went to court, and court held no. The lawyers already have a separate licensing system, okay? So that should actually show you what you are aspiring to be, okay? So it is a very special profession, and for you to get to that point, then you have to take certain things seriously. You're at the starting point, and you'll actually get there. But before you get there, there are certain things you need to do to get there. And that is why I am here. How do you get to be a lawyer like most of us here? The first thing is you need to have a firm academic background. By that, you need to have a good grade. You start from first year, first semester. By the time you get to fourth year, the CPGA, is it GPA? Will be an accumulation of all your scores right from first year, okay? So for you to get a first class degree, a second upper degree, you start now. If you wait for second year, third year, it may not be possible. It is simpler if you start now. And the thing about excellent students is that your grades speak for themselves. You don't need technical know-how in this city. If you have a first class, they come looking for you, okay? If you want scholarships, you will get them. There are certain scholarships that are limited only for excellent students. That is how you propel yourself to greatness, okay? At that point, if your background is not so well financially, you'll go to Harvard, you'll go to Oxford, you'll go to Cambridge, if you have a good grade. There is nothing that stops you from getting it now. So, have a firm foundation, start reading immediately, start consulting. That is, the law course is very intense, so you need to concentrate, you need to put in time. If they give you courseworks, especially if they are take-home courseworks, open book courseworks, why shouldn't you get 40 out of? You get it at the end of the day. I think that is the easiest way to excel. Put in time. Your classmates, consult people in the higher classes. Second year, third year, you need to learn to consult and to read. Okay? Once you have that firm academic background, then you're on your path to success. So that is my first pointer for the day. You also need to understand that but it is like the gate of heaven and hell. Okay? To use an example of a person who is a Christian. Okay? The gate of hell is wide, but that to heaven is narrow. Just like you've come here, the gate is wide. But by the time you get to fourth year, it is going to be very narrow. Okay? So how do you ensure that you're among the few that will make it to the narrow gate? This is not to intimidate you, okay? But if you all strive and struggle, definitely you'll all get there. But why we're having this talk is to ensure that by the time you get to fourth year, you have gone through the course with ease and you'll have excelled, okay? And that is why I'm here to give you just a few tips such that you excel throughout the period, okay? My time in law school, I had a very memorable time. I enjoyed my life, okay? But I passed as well. So do not think that if you're going to read from 8 to 8, you'll succeed. Yes, you will succeed. But if you don't manage your time well, you may not succeed, okay? So it's an issue of are very key. There is no way around it. If you get a pass degree, it will be very unfortunate because even for public service, they do not take people with pass degrees. You get it? So it is not about having a degree and telling people out there, I have a degree, I'm a lawyer. No. Most important, what kind of degree do you have? I think I've stressed that enough. The rest, the academicians will push you on how to excel in the different course units. Okay? But we have a lot of information. This is an information age. There are so many cases you can access online. There's a lot of resource materials online. Surely you have no reason as to why you should not pass some of these things. Okay? Form study groups, they will help you. Okay? But do not go in Kamori. You know these WhatsApp groups have people who are in Kamori. Do not be the one who is always taking from the group. Okay? Make a contribution to the group. Is that okay? So that is the first tip for you to succeed. The second one is gaining practical experience. And by this, I think you have internships, you have clerkships, you can volunteer in all sorts of places. Okay? The beauty about that is that it helps you see how you apply the theoretical knowledge that you pick from class to the day-to-day life. And that is also very important because you get to appreciate that you're not learning just for the sake of theory. It is not theology, okay?